when they're incurred under the cash basis are recognized revenue when cash is received and expense when cash is paid. Job trying to boil it down and just focus in on those things that deal with just the differences you really have to know. So just remember expenses, where SAP forces the insurers to prepare financial statements as if all claims were to be settled immediately, so it treats unpaid reserves as a liability. And this is also called the immediate present. So the immediate present is the opposite of a going concern. Going concern means they're going to go indefinitely. Immediate present means if we had to liquidate it today, is there enough expenses being reported higher under SAP than under GAAP? And SAP requires equity. GAAP, okay? There was another standard besides SAP and GAAP, and that was IFRS. That's your International Financial Reporting Standards. And those standards are intended to be a single set of high standards that would be global. They contain elements of accounting from various countries. And because of its approach being global, it's usually broader than the GAAP counterparts. And it leaves the interpretation of the standards. The established standard for financial reporting in the U.S., and the FASB is the organization or the board that establishes and maintains those standards. The IFRS is maintained by the IASB, which is your International Accounting Standards Board. And it's an independent standard-setting body of the International Accounting Standards Committee. Don't get too hung up on these acronyms. They usually don't trick you with acronyms, and I'm going to say usually. That's my disclaimer. Fair value is also an extremely important concept to get your brain around. Fair value is the market value, whether it's actual or estimated, of an asset or a liability. It's not the same as looking at the cost value or the market value. GAAP accounting traditionally relies on historical cost accounting for many assets and liabilities, but this accounting reports assets as if their values don't change. So the fair value is the acquisition cost modified to represent any changes in market value, up or down. Economic income might be the increase of the value of inventory, is based on fair value, not historical value. Okay, remember the economic income, if I have a bunch of widgets sitting in my warehouse and they cost me $5, that's my historical cost, but now they're worth 20 bucks a piece, I didn't do anything to make that income. That income has a name, it's called economic income. That's what that slide is talking about, okay? Okay, so let's look at the similarities between GAAP and that international reporting standard. General principles, conceptual framework, and accounting results are